Out in the vast, sun-scorched expanse of the American West, there's a story that's whispered on the desert wind. It's a legend of, well, of unimaginable wealth, just hidden from sight, waiting. We're talking about Nevada's greatest, most enduring mystery, a fortune so huge it could literally build cities. So let's dive right into the incredible legend of the Lost Billion. Just look at that number, $1 billion. And we're not talking about some number on a stock market screen or lines of code in a crypto wallet. No. This is a fortune in physical gold, in silver, in jewels, supposedly buried somewhere deep beneath the Nevada sand. I mean, the sheer audacity of that figure, that's what makes this legend so powerful, right? It's a sum that completely blurs the line between what could be real and what's pure fantasy. And that's the big question, isn't it? The one that has absolutely captivated treasure hunters, historians, and adventurers for generations. Is it just a tall tale you tell around a campfire? Or could a billion-dollar prize really be out there, just waiting? To even begin to answer that, we've got to go back in time, back to an era of chaos, opportunity, and a whole lot of secrets. So to really get a handle on this treasure, we first have to understand the world that it came from. A legend this big doesn't just pop up out of nowhere. It was forged in the fire and grit of the 19th century American frontier. This first section, we're calling it Myths, Mines, and Mavericks. This period, it was the perfect storm for a secret of this size to be born. Just look at this timeline. It all kicks off in the 1850s with the gold rush, pulling waves of dreamers out west. Then, by the 1870s, you've got these remote, basically lawless mining towns popping up, creating these massive, untracked fortunes. And then you hit the 1880s, and outlaw activity is just at an all-time high. With that much cash floating around and so little law to keep an eye on it, a billion-dollar fortune could be made, lost, and hidden, all in the blink of an eye. And this is really where Nevada's whole identity was forged. It became this place where you could strike it rich overnight and then just vanish into the wilderness. The state's history isn't just about what was pulled out of the ground, it's about what was hidden right back in it. The landscape itself became the perfect bank vault. There's this legendary quote, supposedly from an old prospector's journal, that just says it all, doesn't it? The desert was both the source of all this wealth and the perfect guardian to watch over it. If you were smart enough, or maybe just desperate enough, to hide a fortune out there, the odds were pretty good that the harsh, unforgiving landscape would protect it for you. But a landscape that keeps secrets like that, well, it kind of needs a map. And a legend this huge isn't just sustained by old stories. It survives on this tantalizing trail of breadcrumbs, these phantom clues that have led hunters on a chase that's lasted for over a century. So, let's do it. Let's open up the evidence file on the Lost Billion. We're going to treat this just like an unsolved case, looking at all the artifacts and stories that form the very backbone of this incredible hunt. Okay, so this case file is basically built on 4 pillars. First, there's the famous cryptic map, which is less of a chart and more like a puzzle. Then you've got the coded diary of a prospector, a guy named Jedediah, which supposedly hides directions in his notes about weather and rocks. Third, the shadowed landmark, a totally unique rock formation that, as the story goes, only reveals a key symbol when the sun hits it at a perfect angle on one day a year. And finally, the most chilling piece of all, the unsolved disappearances of at least 3 different treasure hunters in the same remote area since the 1930s. Each clue is its own rabbit hole. Let's focus on that map for a second, because it really is the centerpiece of this whole thing. It's not a simple X marks the spot. Not at all. The legend says it's more of a celestial and geological puzzle. You have to be at the right place at the exact right time when the sun, or maybe certain stars, align perfectly with a whole series of rock formations spread across miles of desert. And this right here, this is why the treasure is still lost. The key isn't just finding a location, it's solving a riddle that's literally written on the landscape of Nevada itself. I want to pause here for a second and just ask you, think about it. Which of these clues really grabs you? Are you drawn to the intellectual puzzle of the map and the diary? Maybe the natural mystery of the shadowed landmark? Or is it the chilling human drama of the disappearances that makes us all feel a little too real? Which thread would you pull on first? So that brings us to today. The clues are ancient, the trail is ice cold, so why does this legend still have such a powerful grip on our imagination? Why are people still searching, still dreaming about Nevada's gilded secret? Well, part of the reason is that there's no single agreed-upon story. There are these competing theories that keep the mystery fresh. One really popular idea is that it's not a chest of gold at all, but an entire lost Spanish mine, a source of incredible wealth that was abandoned centuries ago. Then another theory points to it being the consolidated stash of a notorious outlaw gang, the ultimate score from years of robbing trains and banks, buried for a payday that just never came. And ultimately, the legend thrives because of Nevada itself. I mean, think about it. You can be standing on the Las Vegas Strip, surrounded by billions of dollars of modern wealth, and know that just beyond that neon glow lies one of the most desolate, empty wildernesses in the entire country. That contrast between the known and the completely unknown, the glittering and the gritty, it's the perfect soil for a treasure myth like this to grow. The secret feels like it could still be out there, because so much of the land is still a secret itself. So the lost billion remains a phantom, a glittering ghost that haunts the Nevada desert. The maps are riddles, the stories all contradict each other, and the landscape, well, it keeps its secrets. But the dream of it, that's real. And it just leaves us with one final thought. If you were faced with a puzzle that's centuries in the making, if you were going to start the hunt, where would you even begin?